Let me show you two prompts and the wildly different results they produce. Prompt 1. Write an email to my team. Claude's response: a generic 3-paragraph message that could have been written by anyone for anyone. It's flat, it's forgettable, and you'll spend more time rewriting it than you actually saved. Now, prompt 2. You are a team lead at a marketing agency. Draft an email announcing a deadline extension for the Q2 campaign from Friday to next Tuesday. Keep it under 100 words, tone, appreciative of team effort, emphasize quality over speed. Claude's response: a crisp, professional, ready-to-send email that nails the tone, respects the word count, and hits every key point. Same model, same subscription, completely different results. The difference isn't Claude, it's the prompt. And today, I'm going to teach you the exact framework that turns average prompts into powerful ones. It's called the 6-block prompt framework, and once you learn it, you'll use it every single time you talk to Claude. Let's dive in. Here's what we'll cover. First, we'll talk about why prompting matters and the big mindset shift that separates beginners from power users. Then, we'll walk through the 6-block prompt framework: role, task, context, constraints, examples, and output format. After that, we'll look at Claude-specific techniques like XML tags and chain-of-thought reasoning that take your prompts to the next level. And finally, we'll do real before and after examples, and I'll share the 6 most common mistakes that kill your results. This is the foundation. Every advanced technique we cover in later videos builds on what you learn today. Here's the thing most people get wrong about AI. They think the magic is in the model, that if they just pick the right model or pay for the right plan, the results will be amazing automatically. That's not how it works. Think of Claude like a brilliant consultant who just walked into your office for the first time. It's incredibly skilled. It can write code, analyze data, draft legal documents, build websites, but it knows absolutely nothing about your specific project, your audience, or your goals until you tell it. Vague input produces generic output. Structured input produces extraordinary output. In the AI world, this shift has a name. We've moved from prompt engineering, which sounds like clever wordplay, to context engineering. That means treating your prompt like a contract: explicit, bounded, testable. You're not just writing a question, you're assembling exactly the right information that Claude needs to do brilliant work. And the framework I'm about to show you makes that process simple and repeatable. The 6-block prompt framework has 6 building blocks. You don't always need all 6. Sometimes 3 or 4 will do. But knowing all 6 gives you a complete toolkit for any situation. Here they are. Block 1. Role. Who should Claude be? Block 2. Task. What should Claude do? Block 3. Context. What does Claude need to know? Block 4. Constraints. What are the boundaries? Block 5. Examples. What does good look like? And Block 6. Output format. How should the response be structured? Think of these as Lego blocks. You stack them together to build the perfect prompt for your specific need. Let's go through each one. Block 1 is the role. This is where you tell Claude who it should be. Why does this matter? Because a senior data analyst communicates very differently from a primary school teacher. Setting the role defines Claude's expertise, its vocabulary, and its perspective. Here's the key. Keep it concise. 1 or 2 sentences maximum. You don't need a personality essay, just a clear professional identity. For example, you are a senior software engineer with 15 years of Python experience. Or, you are a patient and encouraging maths tutor for high school students. Or, you are a professional copywriter specializing in B2B SaaS marketing. Each of those roles will produce drastically different output, even for the same task. That's the power of Block 1. Block 2 is the task. This is where you tell Claude what to do, and clarity is everything. The secret? Use action verbs. Analyze, draft, compare, summarize, debug, rewrite. Action verbs eliminate ambiguity, and if your request is complex, break it into 2 to 4 subtasks. Don't ask Claude to help you with marketing. Instead, say, draft a 500-word blog outline with 5 sections on email marketing for SaaS companies. See the difference? The vague version forces Claude to guess what you want. The specific version gives it a clear target. A clear task means a clear result. Block 3 is context, the background information Claude needs to do the job well. Remember, Claude has no memory of your business, your project, or your audience unless you provide it. Context is the fuel for relevant and accurate responses. Tell Claude who the audience is. What's the situation? What's already been tried? What documents or data should it reference? For example, I run a 10-person marketing agency. Our main clients are in healthcare. This report is for the CEO, who is non-technical. That single sentence completely changes how Claude approaches the task. Now, here's a practical tip. If you find yourself pasting the same context into every chat, use Claude's Projects feature. Upload your documents once, set your custom instructions, and every conversation inside that project will have the context built in. It's a massive time saver. And for long documents, wrap them in XML context tags. This tells Claude, here's the reference material, keeping it separate from your instructions. Block 4 is constraints, the boundaries that keep Claude focused. Without constraints, responses can be too long, too vague, or completely off topic. The golden rule is make your constraints measurable. Instead of keep it short, say limit to 300 words. Instead of don't use jargon, say use plain language and explain any technical terms for a beginner audience. Notice that second example? That's called positive framing. Tell Claude what to do, not what to avoid. Claude consistently performs better with positive instructions. And here's a pro tip. Always add what I call an uncertainty clause. Something like, if you are uncertain about any claim, say so and explain what information would change your answer. This one sentence dramatically reduces hallucinations. Block 5 is examples, and this is the single most powerful technique in your toolkit. Here's a truth that surprises most people. One good example is more effective than 5 pages of detailed instructions. When you provide input-output pairs, what we call few-shot prompting, you're simultaneously setting the tone, the format, the length, and the quality standard. Claude doesn't have to interpret what you mean, it can see what you mean. Wrap your examples in XML tags for clarity. Provide 1 to 3 diverse examples. And if you've enabled extended thinking, you can even include a thinking step inside your example to show Claude the reasoning process you want it to follow. For instance, if you're building a customer support bot, show Claude one sample complaint and your ideal response. Claude will replicate that pattern with remarkable consistency. Block 6 is the output format, and this is where most people leave value on the table. Don't just ask Claude for an answer and hope it's structured the way you want. Tell it exactly how to format the response. Need a table? Specify the columns. Present as a table with columns feature, pros, cons, verdict. Need JSON? Give the schema. Return as JSON with keys, title, summary, tags, confidence score. Need a document? Define the structure. Use H2 headings for each section and bullet points for key items. Being explicit about format means zero reformatting work on your end. And when you combine a clear output format with good examples, Claude's consistency becomes almost mechanical. Now, let's talk about techniques that are specifically tuned for Claude, because some of these don't apply to every AI model. First, XML tags. This is Claude's superpower. Claude is trained to recognize XML-style tags as structural boundaries. Tags like instructions, context, examples, and format help Claude clearly distinguish your rules from your data from your examples. This is especially important when you're asking Claude to analyze a document. Without tags, Claude might confuse your instructions with the text you want it to process. With tags, there's zero ambiguity. Second, chain of thought reasoning. For complex tasks, logic problems, debugging, multi-step analysis, tell Claude to think through this step by step. If you're using extended thinking mode, Claude will automatically allocate more reasoning power. But you can also prompt it manually by asking it to show its reasoning inside thinking tags before the final answer. Third, calm authority. This one is counterintuitive. Newer Claude models actually perform worse when you use aggressive language. All caps, exclamation marks, critical, never ever. Claude responds best to calm, direct, authoritative instructions. Think of it as talking to a respected colleague, not shouting at an employee. Let's put all 6 blocks together with a real example. Imagine you need to analyze a spreadsheet of customer feedback. Here's the bad prompt. Analyze this data. What's missing? Everything. There's no role, no specific task, no context about the data, no constraints, no examples, and no output format. Claude will produce something, but it'll be a generic summary that probably misses what you actually need. Now, here's the same request using the 6-block framework. Role: you are a customer insights analyst. Task: analyze the attached CSV of customer feedback from Q1 2026. Identify the top 3 recurring themes, flag any urgent complaints, and recommend 2 actionable improvements. Context: we are a SaaS company with 5,000 users. This data comes from our in-app feedback widget. Constraints: focus only on feedback with a sentiment score below 3 out of 5. If a theme has fewer than 10 mentions, exclude it. Examples: here is a sample analysis from last quarter that shows the format I want. Format: present findings as 1. Executive summary, 3 sentences. 2. Key themes, bullet list with counts. 3. Urgent flags, table with ticket ID, date, and issue. 4. Recommendations, 1 paragraph each. That's the transformation. Same question, but now Claude has everything it needs to deliver a result you can present directly to your leadership team. Before we wrap up, let's cover the 6 most common mistakes I see people make. Mistake 1. Being too vague. Help me with marketing gives Claude nothing to work with. Mistake 2. Information overload. Pasting 10 documents without telling Claude to focus on something. Mistake 3. Negative framing. Saying, don't use jargon, don't be too long, don't be formal. Tell Claude what to do instead. Mistake 4. Aggressive tone. All caps and exclamation marks actually degrade output quality with modern Claude models. Mistake 5. No examples. Expecting a specific format without showing what it looks like. And mistake 6, trying to do everything in one giant prompt. If your request is complex, break it into steps. Let Claude finish one piece before moving to the next. Avoid these 6 pitfalls and you'll be ahead of 90% of Claude users. So there you have it, the 6-block prompt framework. Role, task, context, constraints, examples, output format. These 6 blocks are the foundation for everything we'll cover in this series. Whether you're writing content, debugging code, analyzing data, or building entire workflows, this framework works every single time. Remember, one good example beats 5 pages of instructions. XML tags are Claude's superpower and always include an uncertainty clause to keep things honest. If this video helped you, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more coming in this series. And here's your homework. Take your next Claude prompt and restructure it using the 6-block framework. Then drop your before and after in the comments below. I'd love to see the transformation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.